I have been arguing for many years that when it comes to hunting and the Second Amendment, that they really don't go hand in hand. Let's start with that. But what I have always argued is that when anti-Second Amendment people say, well, you don't need an AR to go deer hunting with, you just need one shot. And I argue, well, that's right. Like, I don't need an AR to go deer hunting. You are correct. I do just need one shot. I need an AR to be able to defend myself, my family, my property, my neighbors, and my country with. That's what you need that gun for. Can you use it for hunting? Of course you can. But no, I didn't buy one for hunting, no. But what we've seen is that the anti-Second Amendment community has taken this same argument that I was making and they've twisted it to make it even more anti-Second Amendment. Because again, my argument is, don't tell me I don't need an AR to go hunting with. I know that. I need it for other reasons. But what now state attorneys in Connecticut are saying is that you do not have the constitutional right to a hunting rifle. And that's true. That is very true. It's a true statement. Your Second Amendment right revolves around being able to defend yourself. So these would be defensive guns, which again is why you need an AR. But what they now are saying is because Connecticut has a ban on such rifles already, that there were lawsuits of people saying, well, wait a second, I'm using mine to go hunting with. And what they're now saying is, no, you can't use that to go hunting with. That you do not have the constitutional right to go deer hunting or have a hunting rifle. But what they're doing is they're just going around in circles with this argument because, one could argue that hunting really revolves around your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that is your constitutional right. One also might argue that any firearm that one could use for hunting, one could use for self-defense. For example, my very first gun I ever purchased was a Mossberg shotgun or field shotgun. And it was also my home defense shotgun for years. And of course I have the Second Amendment right to own that shotgun. Of course I do. And that's kind of the point of all this is really them just circling around, because if they argue, well, no, you can't use an AR under the Second Amendment because the Second Amendment only applies to defensive weapons, great, it's a defensive weapon. So you're really kind of, what they're doing is they're saying, well, you can't have it for hunting because you don't have the constitutional right to have a hunting rifle. And you can't have it because we're just telling you can't. And we're making up rules all of a sudden that go and violate your Second Amendment right. So really this whole argument that that they brought about should not have been, well, hey, I deserve this rifle to go hunting with. It should be, hey, you can't take my rifle. This is anti-constitutional is what it is. It is anti-Second Amendment. Forget about hunting. I know I don't need one for hunting. Everybody knows that. If you want to use one for hunting, that's great. It's good for that as well. But you buy one of those so you can literally protect your Second Amendment rights, so you can stand up to a tyrannical government, which is exactly what the Second Amendment was written for. So it's really like state attorneys in Connecticut, they just want everything, they just want it both ways. Well, you can't use this gun for anything but self-defense. Oh, and you can't use it for self-defense either. Like, none of this even makes any sense. So, but this is kind of this weird slippery slope we're going down. And again, they're arguing, you don't have the constitutional right to go hunting, but you do have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And sometimes for many people, my family grew up in the hills of Oklahoma, and many of them did hunt for their life. Like, they ate off of deer meat, many of them. Many of them are still living off of deer meat to this day or hunting. So of course you have the right to go deer hunting. Like, it's a slippery slope that I think people are just kind of grabbing a hold of whatever they can to simply take your guns. And that's what this is all about. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on this, definitely put it below, especially any of that insight you might have. I do want to take a moment and say most people watch the channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.